Time to look at the hot games from May 1999 and 2004. Hi, I'm Nick, and this is Required Reading on Retro Games with Nick. Today's episode of Required Reading is on the quote-unquote good stuff. This is the time when I was a little bit more plugged in into video games. We're looking at the May 1999 and later the May 2004 editions of Computer Gaming World. And let's see the cool things that I have. We start off with your Unreal Tournament ad, and a Descent 3 ad. StarCraft Brood War, yep, great. Kingpin Left Crime. I remember seeing this before. Actual gameplay screens. Lots of ads front-loaded. Civilization Call to Power, Annihilation Kingdoms. This is on our Hidden Gems list. We're gonna check this out at some point. The Lands of Lore 3. Why do the opinions of critics and games diverge? Irish author Brendan Behan, who said, critics are like eunuchs in a harem. They're there every night, they see it done every night, they see how it's done every night, but they can't do it themselves. I'd like to share a little about some of the tools and techniques being used in various games. Reviewers have low threshold of patience with poor interfaces, pre-patch bugs, and repetitive sequences. You know, the reason, and this is true at the time, and it's still true to this day, is that critics try to at least make an effort, ideally, to take their personal views and experiences out of an analysis of the video game, right? It's like they will try to tell you why they liked it and what worked for them and the good and the bad of it. And then it's kind of up to you to find a critic whose values and patience you agree with, right? Somebody who's used to reviewing, like, I don't know, action games would do very poorly in a strategic game review. So you don't really care about their opinion on that. And it's kind of the same thing with today's YouTubers, right? I'm sure that for any specific genre or specific game, there's a certain YouTuber that you're like, oh yeah, that guy does good stuff. Like, I know, for example, for fighting games, Maximilian Dude is a very good YouTuber. And it's not just about the level of how popular they are, it's also about the quality of what they do. So, you know, that's the thing. You kind of just have to find a person that your personal tastes align with and follow their recommendation. And what can be a 7 for somebody could be a 10 for somebody else. So, oh, also, it looks like, no. I guess they got a new editor. That's what's happening. Half-Life. Played through it. Gonna go live in about 2-3 weeks on the channel. Still a fantastic game. Some sequences, they're rough. Warlord's Prophecy. Quest for Glory 5, Dragonfire. Didn't Scorpia review this last time? I thought she got me. Maybe it was Quest for Glory 4 in a 1994 issue, but I was like, oh, Quest for Glory seems interesting because you can take your character and bring it up. And the vampire cover. If we wanted our children to be exposed to Playboy type magazines, we would buy them for them, but we choose magazines that are appropriate for them. Did anyone in the editorial department think that maybe that's not good for kids? I'm so tired of women being used to sell things, and I'm so tired of businesses not really caring about what is good for our youth. So disappointed in you. I just want to say that April's cover is the best ever. To be fair, the cover was a little bit too far. I have to be honest. We should check out Myth 2. I know very little about Bungie before Halo. Alien vs Predator, the Alien demo. Yeah, one thing we could also do is I know I have a way of accessing some of these CDs that were distributed with some old magazines. We could check some of that stuff out. That would be fun. Aliens versus Predator. Sinistar Unleashed. Oh, this looks like a space combat sim. Eh. Quake 3 Arena. Ooh. First mention of it. This was a place and time, and it was beyond me at the point. But um, Quake 3 Arena was the multiplayer game of old 56K modem shooters. Oh, this guy, it's funny. Max Payne. This guy went on a trip to Finland to meet Remedy, and this article ends up being all about Kiss. Funny. People like Falcon 4.0 a little bit more than CGW. Fallout 2, people like about the same across. But people really like Return to Crown Door. CGW was not a fan. Various degrees of opinions on Sin. It goes from 50% to 91%. And the opposite for Tomb Raider 3, which PC Gamer gave a 49%, if I'm reading correctly. Mm. These are Microsoft games. There was a time when RPGs were not considered mainstream audience things. Fascinating. The bad. Pentium 3 hype. There is no there. Look, Intel, we just forked your relic cache for Pentium 2s, okay? How about if we're allowed to enjoy those for at least a year before making an upgrade again? Sheesh. Oh, Sierra closed down a bunch of development studios that year. Microsoft was advertising Age of Empires 2, The Age of Kings. That is, of course, a classic. I'm not gonna put it on the list yet because the review is still to come, but we're definitely gonna check it out. Like, it's fucking Age of Empires 2. We gotta Wololo it. Come on. And the rest is gonna... Freelancer, I remember hearing about, but never actually playing it. Klingon Academy. Is this a... Space sim? Yeah, nope. I'm out. Star Trek New Worlds. Real-time strategy. Just looks like another space sim. Homeworld. Close to completion. Released later that year. Alright, this was a, basically a Star Trek branded Master of Orion version. Which, you know, is a slam dunk, right? Any kind of diplomacy, mediation, space sim, you want to throw some Star Trek in there, and it's gonna go great. I wish there weren't as many space sims in this one. Heroes of Math and Magic 3, The Restoration of Arathia. We started playing this on the channel. It is very good and very addictive. I understand why people like this game. System Shock 2. Mm-hmm. Release, it's funny, they say release date Q1 99. This is the May issue, and System Shock 2 isn't out yet. So, what are we even doing? Warren Spector really invented the immersive sim. There's so many different games of his I'd like to try. First one would probably have to be Deus Ex. Like, that's probably my biggest blind spot. Um, but in the overall genre, System Shock 2 is definitely another one, and Thief games are other ones that I would eventually like to try. Shogun Total War, the very first one. Little preview. You could choose to be either Buddhist or convert to Christian, and also get firepower. That's cool. Yeah, we'll add this to the list when the review comes. I think I really want to stick to just stuff that is reviewed. Because anything that is reviewed, you know, eventually we're going to get there anyway. A Braveheart based games? The Professional Gamers League. StarCraft. Favorite? Lame King. Dark Horse. Agent 911. And in Quake 2, favorite is Immortal. Dark Horse. Boomer. So much attitude. It's a very weird space to leave for at the end of the preview. Flight sim, whatever. Maybe Gear 2. Tiberian Sun. Hey, look at Kane. Requiem. Oh yeah, this is the angel with the shotgun. All right, let's look at the Star Wars Episode 1 games. This was, spring 99 is when Episode 1 was releasing in movie theaters, so that explains it. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. This is a straight up tie-in. God, they're not. Yeah, okay, it's this. Gameplay of Phantom Menace is like a third-person lightsaber shooter action game and a platform game. I know, like, I'm sure this is not a good game, but I am kind of tempted to go and check it out. There's even side quests and shit. Man, Star Wars was hot at the time, wasn't it? I guess what was out by 1999? There were some spin-off novels. There was a role-playing game which started filling out details a little bit. I guess the Thrawn trilogy. There were some comic books. So there had been books. The bulk of the expanded universe had detailed several years for separate ends of Return of the Jedi. Hmm. And specific, oh, interesting. Lucas had specifically said that Anakin, Palpatine, and the Clone Wars were off limits. So I guess the biggest thing by the time was the Thrawn trilogy. There were Ewok movies, which I'm sure were no good. Books. Amount of legend books. Okay, no, I want by release date though. That was what I was curious about. So, pre 1999, that's what we're looking for. This is the original novels. Okay. There was some stuff around the time where the movies were made. A bunch of the adult stuff, which, whatever. And a couple of books in a couple of years beforehand about Dark For. Oh, was this adapted from the game Dark Forces? Yeah, okay. They actually adapted the Dark Forces game into books. Rebellion era. Shadows of the Empire by Christopher Golden. Based on the original novel by Steve Barry. Steve Barry has done a lot of like video game adaptation books. He made like the Resident Evil books, I know. What does GB stand for? Game books. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, honestly, the main I guess the Zahn trilogy started a trend of a bunch of novels and things. There's actually a shit ton of novels set after the rebellion. Yeah, okay. Fascinating. All right. That was a deep dive into the Star Wars legends. Which I don't even know why it started. I guess I was wondering how popular Star Wars was at the time. And it turns out the hype had actually been slowly building. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is, I think, officially a good game. Not a great one, but a good one. Phantom Menace, probably not good. We've managed to piece together the plot of the movie and the game from a variety of sources. Let's see how true this is. The game begins as the movie does with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon meeting with the Trade Federation officials aboard a spaceship orbiting the planet Naboo, asking them to lift a blockade erected around Naboo. However, the Federation has no intention of negotiating in good faith and reveals its alliance with the Sith Lords, the same order that later calls Darth Vader Master. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon manage to escape from the Federation and make their way to Theed, the capital of Naboo. They meet Queen Padme, offer to escort her to Coruscant, where she will petition. It appears the party leaves Naboo for Coruscant, stepping on the way and meeting Anakin Skywalker, who joins them. Lots of things missing there. Naboo is under direct attack, and Darth Sidious, the movie's main villain. Okay, yep. I mean, the early part is actually good, and then the details kind of stop. Oh, Starshot! I remember looking at this game and thinking, oh, this looks cool. It's probably not good, but it looked cool. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Peeling 17 loop-de-loops in a row seemed like a good idea at the time. We should add that to the list. I don't think I even have a list for this episode yet, yeah. May 9904 adds a roller coaster. I mean, it's inevitable, right? It's been a hot minute. We've already done like what 3 months of these required readings, so the basic ads we've seen a few times already and already made a note. Ooh, network gaming. Are you connected? Magic and Mayhem by Bethesda. It's on one of our lists at some point. Notice the little ad on the rightmost corner of it. What is it for? Guess we'll get a spread in a couple of pages or something. Find a magic 7. For blood and honor. Hardware. What do you mean the next internet is born? Internet 2, a very high bandwidth, large network. The Abilene Project. Nope. What if I Google Internet 2? Ah, there we go. Backbone network in the late 90s. This is too confusing for me to understand. I don't think this was a better internet. It was just internet for researchers kind of thing. You keep forgetting that we are all the internet from a certain, like, it started as a network, right? We're so connected to everything and everybody that we forget it. It started off with just like universities wanting to talk to each other. Um, audio. Genuine replacement parts. Quick 2 frames, 66 FPS. Man of War 2. Okay, reviews. What do we have? What are this month's reviews? Civ 2 multiplayer gold. This is just a re-box version of Civ 2. Monaco Grand Prix, Scars, SimCity 3. We just keep running into SimCity. It really had like a 5-year planning time, I guess. That's funny. Net for Homeworld. Orgasm. Doesn't seem to be a earth moving experience. Thunder Brigade, Scars. Was there a Nintendo 64 version of Scars? Yeah, there was. That's what I thought. Solar Reaver. Let me add this to the ads. I think I have it already, but I didn't really like the whole Nosgoth series from the. Ah, fuck, that's a hidden gem. A Blood Omen. From the original Blood Omen to Soul River, where the series really became popular partly because of its PlayStation port. Soul River 2 is a really good game. And I really like Defiance, which kind of mixes the two different ones. Blood Omen 2 was a bit of a disappointment. It's a shame that nothing's happening with these games. No sort of remaster, remake, or anything. Happening game, not good. Cydonia, which is a mist style adventure game. Good start, but it sort of gets disappointing afterwards. So I think this is one that's worth checking out. Reviews. Cydonia. Lynx LS Extreme. When you can't sell another version of your golf game, you have to, add gimmicks to it. That's not a good sign. Monaco Grand Prix Racing Simulation 2. I had this for Nintendo 60. Fun fact, I actually won this game through like a magazine contest. I hate racing games. That was a terrible. I don't know why I entered it. I kind of burned all my luck on winning contests. That one. I'm sure it's a good game. I guess we can put it on the list. Um, Speedbusters. Freshmongering AI competition. Okay. Could have been good. Could have been great. Just good. Close combat, the Russian front, too war gamey for me. Simcity 3000. I mean, this is let's see what you say. Greedy hardware acceleration is not used. Despite the game asking you to select that 3D accelerator. Huh. That's crazy. Commandos, Beyond a Call of Duty. That was my NVIDIA. Telling me that an update is ready. Yes, I understood. Thank you. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Oh, this is getting annoying. Turn off all notifications. There we go. Civ 2 with multiplayer. Eh. Oh, interesting. Because of multiplayer. Was Civ 2 the first Civ to have multiplayer? Oh, and here's, by the way, the cover of the scantily clad woman with her boobs out. First civilization with multiplayer. No. Multiplayer, Civilization Wiki. No, they had multiplayer in Civ 1 too. Oh, no, it doesn't. In 95, they released CivNet, which had a multiplayer. In the same way, Civ 2 doesn't have a multiplayer until they release this version. which doesn't have an entry on the Civilization Wiki, which is disappointing. A Warhammer game that is what? An SSI. This I don't understand, but I'm a little bit into it. A little bit into it. Um, Warhammer 40K, Rights of War. Uh, Lego Loco. Tips for Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. An ad for Norton. Is that guy Norton? Is Norton a guy? He was a guy. Though he sold his business in 1990. Yeah, no, that's the guy, Peter Norton. That's funny. I had no idea that. I guess I should have thought about it, but I had not realized that Norton was the last name or the first name of someone. Huh. Oh, tips for Brood War. These are actually pretty good. Oh, but this is just on the new units. Okay. And changes to existing units. Hmm. Tips for Thief the Dark Project, which is Thief 2? Yeah, I think it's Thief 2. Again, I said this. I think it was this episode. I haven't recorded 2 episodes back to back, so I think it was this episode. But Thief is on the list of indoor systems I want to try. Though Deus Ex should come first. Cheats for Heretic 2. Tips for Fallout 2. Couple squares at a time, jumps. Top action games: Half-Life, Quake 2, Dark Forces 2. Top adventure games: Grim Fandango, Curse of Monkey Island, Sanitarium. Sanitarium is on our hidden gems list. At least I think it is. Stop classic puzzle games. You don't know Jack 2, 3, and you don't know Jack movies. I had no idea that the Jack games went back so long in PC history. Has Heroes 3 not come out yet? Was Heroes 2 the best selling one? Then we get Might and Magic 6 right around. Fog 2. What's Hellfire? Not this one. Oh, no, not this one. I think I need a disambiguation. No? Fuck is Hellfire? Hellfire Sierra. Oh, it's the Diablo expansion, I guess, because it was published by Sierra. Okay. Role playing, I guess it's a bit of a stretch, but. Hall of Fame new inductees. Battleground series by Talonsoft. Too deep for me, you know. Sure. All right. That was the May 1999 issue. Not a lot of exciting reviews. Some, cool games that we were not aware of. Some good things. Here is the May 2004 one. And I'm already so excited seeing Battle for Middle Earth, which is one of my favorite RTS games ever. Rome Total War, which is my favorite Total War game ever. Oh, there's a preview of Thief 3 and a Hitman game. Signed in blood. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Jeff Green. It went from being. I guess that's what he said, right? He just became the editor. No, George Jones. Who the fuck was Jeff Green then? But he had the, I guess is one of the editors. Still there. People really hate the console quarter, huh? What the fuck? Davis. Talking about the console bashing, and then there's just BDSM picture of two men saying that this is the editors in chief of EGM and CGW. Okay. Early odds humor, am I right? Oh, this is when the Half-Life 2 source code was stolen. What happened? Did they talk about the Half-Life 2 source code theft? This was back in October 7. Hackers broke in they released the build. Uh, your email alerts, game over, hackers, activate or create your own. What? Oh, I guess this is for the column that's in a money hat. Disclaimer. Okay, so it happened in October. That's why we didn't hear about it in. It happened in October of the previous year, which means why we haven't read about it in any of the magazines so far. They don't have a Matrix Online publisher yet, which would have been good because the Matrix Online was not great. Oh, remember all those nice things said in April issue about Microsoft Norse mythology-based MMORPG Mythica? Well, forget it. It's latest attempt to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Microsoft Game Studios has canceled the title. Oh, this is a fun idea. It's like instead of a new game that costs this much, grab these two great games. True Crime Streets of LA. This was this had a very interesting idea, which is they recreated 240 square miles of LA. The problem is that makes it way too big and way too boring and empty, right? That's why the original GTA games worked so well, or by original I mean GTA 3 and Vice City worked so well, is because the maps were so compact you really knew those places. Battle Cruiser 3080 apparently was a very disappointing game. I appreciate that they called us out. We also revealed the winner of CGW's Top Ad Awards, Might and Magic 2. Sadly, this incredible accolade did little to quell the fury raging in New World Computing's president, John Van Caneghem, who wrote a 12-paragraph letter decrying Scorpia's less than stellar review of the same title. Remember when you didn't know Jar Jar from a hole in the ground? Remember how puzzled you were when our big Star Wars Episode 1 cover story detailed an arcade racer in a crappy action-adventure game? Remember thinking, well, the movie can't possibly be that lame? Remember that feeling of crushing disappointment? Oh boy. Lineage 2, still online. You know, I've never seen Red versus Blue. That was a Rooster Teeth thing, right? Yeah. Rooster Teeth just finished its operations. It's funny that I would just run into people talking about it. Yeah. Back to Disc Up. Yeah, I mean, you know that whoever came up with this definitely did it with the intent of selling it to people wanting to pirate software. Oh shit, the UK Office season 2. I wonder how it stacks up. I never actually watched the original Office. Siberia 2. Ooh, yeah, we need to. We'll put this in the ads section for oh, this magazine. Siberia 2. We played through the first Siberia on youtube.com/@gameswithnick. Go check it out. Still great. Still holds up. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Also a game that mostly still holds up. There's great stuff in like the first area, and then I think it falls a little bit off. But still, it's a pretty good game, all things considered. I should check out Vampire the Masquerade Redemption again. Rise of Nations, this is the expansion. I have a soft spot for this RTS. I don't know why. But back in the day, I just loved it. I think it's just the whole you basically go it's like Age of Empires, but you go through all technologic stages in one game. And I just really enjoyed playing through it. Oh, the first evil genius. Oh, that's cute. We will check it out once it gets to a review. I think they only did one sequel, right? No, evil genius game. They did release Evil Genius 2 in 2021. Huh. I remember about this guy being the lead on Evil Genius and Republic. I'd not realized that now he's an AI dude, computer scientist, artificial intelligence researcher, and entrepreneur. Oh, Deep Mind. Did they talk about Deep Mind in StarCraft 2 or something? Yeah, they use Deep Mind to train an AI to play StarCraft. Huh. UT 2004. It's a good game. I played it back in the day. Um, we can check it out, I guess. It's just we would have to play with bots. Thief 3, not as good as Thief 2. I'm trying to understand where this quote comes from. You can't make a game by and for MIT grads. You have to make the game accessible. Shell Shock, Nam 67. Does this have a story? Maybe. I would be willing to check this out. There's a couple of these Vietnam games that came out in these early aughts times. I'd be curious to revisit. Early Hitman. Contracts was like the third game in the franchise. Third, yeah. Blood Money. Absolution. And then, I thought there were more Hitman games. Huh. Huh. Did they ever port the Hitman trilogy? What's the easiest way to play all the Hitman games? Like, let's start with the very first one. Is this just a PC game? I don't think they've ever ported this to anything else, have they? Yeah. Huh. I really loved the Word of Assassination trilogy. To admittedly, I spend most of my time in Hitman 1 and 3. I didn't play a lot of Hitman 2. Um, I'm honestly sad that they didn't go for the episodic release in I think that's why I really enjoy Hitman 3 is that me and a bunch of friends played it in an episodic format. That just works so well because you really get to dig into the maps and discover all the things. Manhunt for all the shit that it got. Not a great game. Like here's the thing, a Rockstar is not dumb, right? It knew how to really walk the line between it being a video game and it's not being a snuff film. Oh, Beyond Divinity, first game from Larian. Oh, second game from Larian. My bad. Lots of previews. Feature on Rome Total War. West Fellowship Activision. Damn. It's a Total War game. You have your overland map, and then the battles are real time 3D battles. But it's having this many characters on screen. I think was the draw to it. No release date yet, so we're not gonna add it to the list yet. But Battle for Middle Earth. Oh, I love you so much. Black and White 2, another one that's not great, but ooh. Battle for Middle Earth. This goes into hidden gems. It goes into hidden gems. Ultimate Gaming Pad. I don't understand why there's women hanging around him. That was weird. Oh, Spellforce. First Spellforce. This is a kind of a weird game. It's like halfway between an RTS and an RPG. It's definitely worth a mention on our list. You got role playing in my RTS game. Oh, this is. Oh, hey, I was just thinking about Viet Cong, and this is the expansion. Viet Cong. You don't know Jack? Yeah, we're moving on. Conspiracies. This is like a cheesier than the ripest Greek feta. It's a dying man who's living in a box on the side of the road. Tex Murphy game. Jesus Christ. The detective game FMV, but just looking really terrible. Star Chamber. Multiplayer game. It's like a board game adaptation or something. Worms 3D. You know it's Worms. Let me Google the Star Chamber because I've never heard of it. No, stay in the window that I'm capturing, please. Star Chamber game. Yeah, it was a CCG. Huh, yeah. This was like kind of like Artifact before Artifact. It was an online collectible card game, which was free to download and play, but you'd have to buy the cards. Wow. By the way, I always feel like the Artifact game was a real missed opportunity. It was really cool. It's a shame that they could never get it to monetize properly and that tanked it. Because I've seen a couple people play it and it looked really fun. And the idea of having three separate lanes was pretty innovative. Okay. This is an MMO, right? This is a competent game in every respect, but it's as if someone listed the basic features of every other online RPG, scratched off player versus player, hastily inserted playable dragons, and then used the list to design a game. Is this like a Destiny, what? I'm just having a brain fart. Destiny Warriors? Yeah, Dynasty, not Destiny. Dynasty Warriors. Is this like a Wars and Warriors, Joan of Arc, it's called? Oof, PC Gamer said it deserves the same fate as its namesake. Rough. I remember this image. This is what I remember of it. Look at this map, and this feels like a Dynasty Warriors kind of thing. Oh, yeah, it was on the list. And Warriors of Arc. Jack the Ripper. A bad point and click adventure. Siberia 2. Oh, baby, it's cold outside. Only 3.5 stars? I mean, it's a point and click adventure. What do you want? Why do you want to do this? So I guess we'll move it to the review section instead of just the ad section. To me, this was not as good as the first one. There was just something missing from. I think the locales just felt a little too similar because by this point you are in Siberia and they're just trying to get to. I'm thinking whether I should spoil the first game. Skip the next 30 seconds if you don't want the first game spoiled, and in fact, just go and watch my playthrough on youtube.com/adgameswithnick. Your goal is to go to find the mammoths with Hans. But you're stuck in Siberia, and so a lot of things kind of look the same. But it's a competent point and click adventure. Check. This is a LAN party box. Oh, this is a small PC that you can bring to places for LAN. I get it. Laptops. Oh, hey, remember when you wanted to turn your PC into a media center? You could like watch TV and shit. Dumb. Look at him. Ooh, Tom versus Bruce in Civilization 3 Conquests. They chose the Age of Discovery for a balance of expansion, direct conflict, and diplomacy, and wouldn't have to deal with any long Japanese names. That's kind of racist, but okay. Okay, and so who are we playing as? Oh, they did play Star Chamber last month. So Bruce is Spain and Tom is England. Sentences that were written. Every time a sea dog gets a kill, there's a 1 in 3 chance the victim will be enslaved rather than killed. Spain is a good explorer. Tried to conquer Portugal. Neither Portugal nor France wants to enter an alliance with England. Oh, are there sentences that were written that did not age well? I landed my first Pac-Man on Cuba, and he started clearing out the natives and making the island safe for the gentle people of England. I know it's tongue-in-cheek, but it's still really cringy to read. French just built Quebec on Cuba. There are three other Mesoamerican. They traded with the Mayans. Spain completed a Sistine Chapel. And conquers Portugal. At which point England convinces France to attack him as well. Tom, meanwhile, is expanding to North America. Bruce pays off peace with France. Tom seems to have naval control. Yeah, Tom clearly has the upper hand on this one at this point. England begins to snare as a Catholic monarchy. The biggest problem with the Catholic monarchy is the rampant corruption. I'm countering this by building a colonial capital in Miami. Bruce is having trouble with treasure. Oof, Bruce is in a hard time. Destroys ships with gold. The Mayans also start attacking Spain. Yeah, this is done. Now Tom is going for Madrid itself. Yep, that's it. This was never a fair game. Here, I think Bruce really made a mistake by not expanding any sooner. I guess if you start in Spain, Portugal is kind of there encroaching upon you. You kind of have to deal with it. But just giving for an expansion was specifically about imperialism and conquering, delaying the colonial approach was a bad mistake. I like these. These are cool to read when it's a game that I can sort of understand and parse. Oh, next month, Quarter 2, apparently. A preview, probably, just. Yeah, that's it. Really enjoyed these two later issues. Part of me almost kind of wants to mix up, like, one of the pre-95 issues with one of the post-95 issues for every episode, because I feel like it's unfair to the older stuff that I'm not as invested in them, but it is the way it is. Thank you for watching. This was Required Reading, covering Computer Gaming World 178 and 238 here on Retro Games with Nick. Feel free to leave a comment below. Tell me if you like this sort of new required reading format where I try to not dive as deep into things that don't interest me and just focus on things that I can speak about in a reasonable way. And tell me if you like it, and if you don't, tell me why you don't. Always happy to figure out where this format is going. I definitely like having 2 magazines per episode. It keeps it more condensed. It's better use of my time. And I don't know how many people were willing to listen to me ramble for an hour and a half about, like, one old magazine from 1999, right? And an hour and a half over 2 of them, I think it's more reasonable. And there's different games that we can talk about and different dives we can go in. I still can't believe we spent like a good 10 minutes figuring out the Star Wars Legends canon. But hey, that's what happens when you record these things. You never know what is going to drag your attention. So make sure you go and like and subscribe on the channel. Feel free to watch the other videos that are currently being posted, including the playthroughs of Doom and Half-Life. Make sure to also check out twitch.tv/gameswithnick. By the time this episode comes out, I will probably be done with streaming for a good month and a half to 2 months because I'm getting married and I'm going on my honeymoon. But in the meantime, hit the follow button and look forward for me being back in late July with a sort of richer streaming schedule. Also, go and check out youtube.com/@gameswithnick. There's some full playthroughs on there, including the one of the first Siberia game. Like, subscribe, leave comments, all the good stuff. Thank you for watching. This is Nick signing off, saying, let's keep retro playing together.